A huge new update was just revealed for Squad Busters, bringing with it 4 new megas that were announced, 4 new characters that are on their way, a bunch of cosmetics, also the ice world. So in this video, we're going to break down all the things that we saw and get into some of the additional details that were maybe shown in the video but weren't talked about. And you can use the timestamps in the description to jump to whichever part you want. We're going to start with the 4 new characters. And those 4 characters are the Ice Wizard, Dr. T, Jessie, and Bandit. And let's start with Jessie. Jessie will spawn a turret after you open a chest, which actually does sound really powerful. Her super form will also drop a turret spell. I feel like she will be a really great early pick, although she's going to be rare, which means you're probably not going to draft her right away. And you can expect her to kind of be similar in function, I think, to the Royale King, where you summon those knights when you open a chest and they walk around and like they might be valuable if there's stuff around that chest, but it really loses value toward the late game. I expect, unless her Ultra form does something really cool, that she'll be awesome early, but not so great late when a turret and its relative DPS compared to what a squad has is going to drop off in value. One other thing I noticed when I put the video down to a frame-by-frame speed is that I was able to find the 2-star description of Jessie, which is that her shots bounce to a nearby target. So she is a strong attacker that is not doing area of effect damage, but is going to be effectively hitting multiple targets regardless, which seems like it could be pretty powerful DPS. Now then there's the Ice Wizard, and the Ice Wizard gives you a super freeze spell, even at the baby form, which is nuts. Now freeze, you probably know because you watch my spell tier list, is a 25% speed reduction and a 40% movement speed reduction. So if the super freeze is a bigger template and longer lasting, I think people are going to start to feel like freeze is a little bit overpowered. The classic form of this unit, by the way, is going to shoot a frosty ice bolt that will turn into a cone AoE after connecting with the first target, which could be absolutely disgusting. I think offensively, if someone hits you with this thing and they're stronger than you, you're just dead. You're actually just going to be cooked, which people are probably not going to love. Defensively, however, you probably can be guaranteed an escape if you deploy this spell well. I think this is likely to be a very good mid-game draft pick or a closer, since he's going to give you that super freeze spell when you pick him up. I do not think he's likely to be a great first pick, but I suppose we'll find out. Now contrast that to Dr. T. Dr. T is going to summon a Mega Crab after you get enough coins. That number is listed as 10, and you then get more coins, I guess another 10, to do more upgrades. Now, he will ignore monsters and go for players, which is really cool if his monster crab that he summons stays with your squad when you go places. Not so cool if it wanders off on its own and is kind of doing its own thing. I think it'll go with your squad places. I am cautiously optimistic about this being a really powerful unit. It is likely to be good as your like 2nd to 5th draft pick, because you probably want a lot of time to power up this crab, but at the start of the match, you're not doing too much PvP typically, so you don't want it too early. You want that probably like early enough, like I said, 2nd to 5th pick, so that you can power it up before you might have your first fights, but not so early that you can't actually get the PvE things done that you need to get done. The final unit they revealed is a rare, and Bandit is available from an event only in July. Now, I don't know if they're going to put it in other places. They didn't mention, I think, a world that she's available in, so this might be the only character in-game that comes from an event, and they did mention that the event will come back if you don't unlock it in the first cycle. Now, the 1 star of what the Bandit is going to do is give you gems, 7 of them, when you draft it from a chest, which is pretty sweet. Classic will give you 1 gem when you bust big monsters. And overall, they mentioned the super form increasing loot even more. I mean, this is a unit that is about giving you more gems, aka scoreboard. Now, things that generally give you more scoreboard are powerful. We know Trader is very, very powerful, but this is more focused, obviously, on fighting monsters, which means game modes that have lots of monsters are probably going to be really insane for the Bandit. Also, game modes that don't have many ways to get gems are are going to be very powerful for the Bandit as well. Looks like this is a unit you can unlock free to play, or you can spend gold to unlock it toward the end of the event if you haven't met the win condition to do that, which, by the way, you need to go and collect gem pouches. They mentioned 1 for every 100 gems collected in a match, and I think I saw on screen like 130 or 140 gem pouches you need to get, but I think, you know, you just play a lot during the event window, just like how you can unlock spells, and you should be able to unlock this. Now, obviously, the Ice World is going to bring with it all kinds of new monsters, but what they mentioned in this video was the 4 new mods. That includes the Super Ice Spirits, which are giant ice spirits that jump around the map, a Golem Meteor mod, where golems that are just full of gems rain down from the sky, and then 1 coin chests, where chests contain, well, cost 1 coin to open them, which sounds insane. This changes the focus of the match potentially to prioritizing chest opening over monster hunting. And then Gem Hot Pot, there's going to be lots of gems for the first squad that can grab a hot pot. And it sounds like exploration will be really valuable to go find these hot pots, much like how when you get a penny, you really do need to go get that map. As soon as this update lands, there's actually going to be a special event where you can play in the Ice World for about a week and unlock the new characters, which is awesome. There'll be a little ice spirit in the plaza that is going to give you rewards for busting more ice spirits in battles to work towards chests that guarantee you will get Ice World characters, which is Jesse, Dr. T, and the Ice Wizard. And then once the event ends, the Ice World will be added at level 90 portal energy. Now, new megas and cosmetics are also on their way, and they mentioned they'll be in the battle pass. The first mega I want to talk about is the Beach Royale King. Now, the Beach Royale King looks like he summons Royal Knights, but they actually stay in your squad and go wherever your squad goes, which makes him way more useful and could actually be very powerful. There's the Sunburn Barbarian, and I couldn't figure out what that was doing. I would assume it's just like a bigger, badder barbarian, right? Then there's the Street Trader, which in the gameplay they showed, looks like it still has the little icons around his health for collecting coins to give you gems. So I assume that is similar in nature. And then the Fast Food Tank they mentioned is coming in August. So Street Trader and Fast Food Tank, both in August, in the burgers and bullets season, which I'm amped up for it, okay? In the footage they showed, the Mega Tank took about 2/3 health off of an uncaged goblin with a single shot. I'd guess it was about 1,000 damage, though I would assume it has a low rate of fire, but just catastrophic amounts of damage that it deals. On the topic of megas, they did mention that they're looking at rebalancing megas and keys, but that there isn't anything in this particular patch, and that doesn't surprise me too much. It takes time to crank out a new patch, and I would assume that it's going to take like a couple months for them to figure out exactly what they want to do with megas, and more importantly, I would say keys moving forward. You know, my opinion on keys is to either remove them entirely, or I do like the idea of limiting key usage to teams that are really far behind, but we'll see what the devs ultimately do. I am very hopeful that they'll make some awesome choices, and I'm pretty confident that they'll do some stuff that makes the keys and mega situation better. And I would say the mega situation is already a lot better than it once was, that's for sure. Now, skins are also on their way in-game, by the way. Cosmetics, the Ninja Goblin, Origami Barbarian King, Tour Guide Mavis, Kimono Witch, Street Magic Wizard, and importantly, it looks like there will be multiple skins for each unit type potentially, and they mentioned that those are going to be coming to the shop. However, skins will also be in the Gem Pass. There's a Pool Party Hog Rider coming in July, and a Retro Future Colt in August. In addition, there's a free skin that everybody can get if the community comes together to complete some task, which is a Black Belt Chicken, and that's on its way in July. In addition, as if there wasn't already a lot in this update, Ultra Colt will hang out in your town and give you bounties for coins, and then you collect coins. So it looks kind of like a wanted poster where you go and you need to knock out different monsters, and then once you have knocked out enough of those monsters, you will then be able to cash in for coins. I mean, it's like a Western themed thing, right? It's like a wanted poster. You fulfill the wanted poster with like the Ultra Colt. I don't think you need to have Ultra Colt in order to do this. I am assuming that The Ultra Colt is purely there for cosmetic reasons with like wanted posters and that kind of stuff. So overall, this update is really sweet. There's a lot of things that I'm excited to see here. And again, I find it completely unsurprising that the developers are taking a little more time to figure out, hey, what are we doing with megas and with keys? And I expect that will be in the next update, especially because they mentioned it. I don't think they will go 2 updates without doing something. They mention it. That means to me, in the next one, we should expect something. And I would also expect, when you think about how long it takes to prepare a patch, like it is probably a couple weeks of executing the things they had planned on, and like some amount of time to test it, right? And then some amount of time to get it ready to the different app stores to hit publish. So it's probably like a month-long development cycle to put out a new patch, right? And we don't need to get in software development. I used to work in software development, so I know a thing or two about it, but that's not what you're here for. Consider subscribing if you want to see more information about this update as soon as it lands. I intend to max out these characters shortly after they arrive in game, at the very least, to play through their events, maximize the rewards I can get from them, and then go max them out. Might do it that way. I guess we'll see. Subscribe to find out.